Dedesine gitti, evine de geldi. Ah nine, ah dede, dedesine geldi, dedesine gitti. Hello everybody, good evening. Welcome to another stream of the CM Kozeman live stream hour. I hope you're all having a nice day, nice night, wherever you are. Kojira is here. He runs a very popular Turkish paleo channel actually on YouTube. Nice to see you here, brother. Proud of your accomplishments and very proud of the way you seem to be able to withstand the intellectual challenges of managing a YouTube account in the Turkish language. Not many people can do that. My good friend Rob Gautier is here, the ET Whisperer. Kind regards to you, your family, and all your extended cosmic family. Whole family sends their love to me from Kalamazoo, Michigan. Hello as well. Milady Class is here, all the way from Pennsylvania. The Junior says hi too. Hello, wow, tonight's gonna be packed. Let me tell you that much. A lot of people online. What a great night. Why don't you feast your eyes on this incredible creation and call everybody you know while I go grab some tea for myself. Just look at this amazing creation. I don't know what the fuck is going on in here, but certainly interesting. Look at its feet, look at its energy or its body, its leaves. What the hell is going on in here? Tehalf Groove from Pennsylvania says, do you have super chats enabled? Not yet. I need to be able to monetize the channel before that. And for complicated philosophical and financial reasons, I'm not doing that yet. But maybe I should. Kyra Fiskrov says, Guten Tag. So yeah, feast your eyes on this magical creature while I go grab some tea. Hello. Wow, the hearts and gifts are coming. So nice. Hello, hello, hello. This creature was sponsored by Coca Cola. Nah, just kidding. And here I am, all teed up, drinked up, souped up. Hello, everybody. Kyra Fiskroff says it's got a flower mouth pertaining to this thing. Yes, it's just a. Okay, so let me tell you this secret story behind these things. We might even make some drawings tonight because I've been going around carrying this amazing Sumi ink, the fast flowing, fast drying manga ink. And I've just also been carrying around this driftwood stick. I just found it on a beach one day, years and years ago. And turns out, well, sticks, being evolved to carry liquids across the plant's body, have a capillary action thing going on. So you can actually dip it in the ink and it works like a perfectly amazing ink nib pen. And it was just fascinating. So I have been making like crude drawings like this with the ink and then coloring them in with watercolors. But it's just makes me so happy. It's like one of those things that turn of the century surrealists or professional artists would do. While he's out for more tea, it's time to rot my brain out on more Merlot wine, says Kyra Fiskroff. Wow, my friend, that's very hardcore of you. That was the whole bottle. Well, I hope these are jokes and I hope you're not drinking too much. As they say, everything in moderation. Hello, Mr. Kozeman says Rapo545. Apparently, apparently, some people are having problems with the stream. I hope that's okay. Are you having any problems now? Just let me know how it's going. Yeah, I've been growing this hair all nice and long. Kind of don't like the way it curves at the top, but ah, anyways, it's just fun. Can't be helped, I'm afraid. Dajun Yar says, "Come to Turkey. I am in Turkey, my good friend. My brother in Christ, I am in Turkey." Salutations, says Star Goose. Salutations, everybody. I got the cup of big tea ready. I got the bottle of Coke ready. I got the watercolors, the ink, and every other shit under the sun ready. We got nukes and sharp stones. Here we are at the CM Kozeman Sunday blues special. Actually, this is not. I don't have any blues tonight, but the computer I make these live broadcasts on does not have the graphic editing suite installed that I use to make the labels. So sometimes when I have only this computer and not my graphics computer, I just rip out labels from previous streams and basically I just recycle them. So thankfully I had a previous stream called the Sunday Blues Special, but I don't have any blues tonight. Yeah. King HB says up cork in his catchphrase. And TYZR is also saying, hey, Memo, hello, hello, Jaden. OC 2086 says, hello, Cosman. I love your artwork so much. Sometimes even admiring sketches on your website is very relaxing and inspiring to me. Thank you so much. Just because you said this, actually, I will reveal some more sketches now. I have been drawing giant water beetles the size of little submarines, predatory water beetles, just chasing people. So these are some of the sketches I have been doing. And over the past year, I have started I have started tinting my sketches with watercolors, and it's just the best feeling. It's just so nice to be able to do this. Gives it a very old world feeling. While everybody is upping their game in digital arts, I am actually getting better and better with traditional media, and I like legacy media. Lexus Glavan says beautiful. They also say screw digital trash. Well, maybe not that harsh. Screw AI trash, that's for sure, but the digital stuff, I don't know. Everything has got its place. Yeah, 16 people watching. Nice. How are you all, everybody? I hope you're having a great time. Some people are lagging. Oh, shit. Let me just check something with connection speeds real quick, okay? Fast.com. No, I'm clocking in at 31 megabytes per second, so it's not on my end. Maybe it's a server side thing. Usually it kind of percolates if we wait, so let's see how it goes. All is good in the Kozeman verse, says Lexus. Well, not bad, not terrible. No, not great, not terrible. Usually on the better side. Yeah, I mean, not to dish this too much on digital art, because as Kyra Fiskroff said, even if you're familiar with like some obsolete media, you can do great stuff with it. And he's using Adobe Flash to draw his creatures. By the way, if you're interested, let me do a shout out for Kyra Fiskroff's page, Anthropomundus. That's ANTHROPOMUNDUS. Go look for Anthropomundus, and he has got an amazing selection of posthumans and strange posthuman-like creatures. Go look it up. You won't be disappointed. Digital poop. Okay, 14 people in. It's time to do our roll call. Where is everybody from? Let's do a shout out, and I will see how many people are representing from all over the world. I also don't have any hatred towards digital art. Let me make it plain. My technique has a traditional legacy basis, and I just scan those and edit them over. But the initial drawing for me has to be on paper. But then usually the digital process is almost as complicated. Slotman Prophecies is from Florida. King HP from Up Cork. Coffee Creamer says they're from California with a crying cat emoji. I'm assuming you just had to pay taxes or some shit. I don't know. Ethan Elapa, South Africa represent. Nice to see some Afrikaner friends here. Dajun Yar says they're from Tatooine. Interesting. Could it be that you are from Morocco, which was used as a stand-in for Tatooine? Absent fish is from Essex, land of the sea serpent that is not really here. Is there an Essex sea serpent? Let me check. Oh, there is an Essex serpent, but it's a novel. It's about somebody who moves from London to a small sea village, and then like looks like one of those boring fiction novels, but I don't know. Emily Clark is from Maine, smallest continental US state. Gizbilimci, whose name translates into secret learner or secret scientist, is from May is from Netherlands, but Turkish in origin. Selamlar dostum. King HB again asks for Five Nights at Freddy's, the movie. Haven't seen it, and like, not a terrible fan to be honest. So yeah. Yukihira Soma says they are from Mula. So another based Turkish friend, perhaps in a Japanese enthusiastic mood at the present day. Over Mula, there used to be this is either in Mula or Milas. There used to be a Turkish mystical holy man who was known as Hamursuz Baba, whose name means unleavened father. Hamursuz, coincidentally, also means, well, matzos of the kind used in Jewish ritual when they have to bake stuff without the raising powder in it. It's an ancient tradition. But this Hamursuz Baba was one of the mystical figures. Everybody thought it was like a Turkish saint, but some people, because of the name, thought it was maybe a Jewish convert or something. One of the many, many mystical toponyms and one of the many mystical local rural legends in Anatolia. Gavin Tidwell is from Florida. Hello, my friend, and represent. Now, all of you, I'm kind of preaching to the choir here, but please consider supporting me on patreon.com and also consider joining this channel, following stuff, and call all your friends on your socials. I mean, the more buddies we get in this room, the better. And we have 18 people. How nice. Lord Grunwalder is here, says, what are we talking about? Just the intro warm-up phase now. There's no specific conversation topic as of yet. But why don't we play this game? Why don't you prime me with a single word each? And it's a psychological experiment, and I will react with what it coins in my mind. So I don't know, you say something like Boulder, and I say maybe Colorado, or like. So everybody drop in a single word, and we'll do the whole psychological reference kind of thing. Yukihira Soma is apparently studying in the city of Mula. That's a nice, nice Turkish college town. Have some adventures, man. Have some adventures. Oh, man, they're coming. All right. God damn, this is like nuclear missile launch codes. Jewelry, rubber, cork, coral, consciousness, taco. All right, all right. I will get through all of it. Just list them down. Mosquitoes, all right. Lord Grunwalder says, I am too poor for Patreon, but I will order some Popeye's chicken to you when we meet. Brother, you are like a younger brother to me. Unfortunately, whenever we meet, unless I'm in real dire straits, I will do the ordering for you. All right, the words are coming in. Let's go. Kyra Fiskroff says, jewelry. Ugh, I don't like that. It really makes it like a gag reflex. I don't know. I have got a fear of like necklaces, pendants. I hate those things. I don't know why. I know my paternal grandmother had it too. Like she wouldn't be able to look at a button if it was on the ground or something. I hate it. I have no problem touching shit or like masses of bugs. I have like actually quite an interest in those slimy, filthy things, but not jewelry. The closest I can fathom are like these unbroken chains. I don't know. I would never wear, though. I would never wear jewelry. And I'm trying to accept the idea of people wearing it. Okay, rubber. Well, kind of reminds me of condoms. Always wear rubber. But also, I'm reminded of how rubber is a terrific monoculture. And apparently, only to protect rubber plantations in South America and Southeast Asia, apparently direct travel between these two regions is extremely difficult because they're worried about some disease coming in and destroying all the rubber trees. Cork, King HB says, it's that county in York. So, yeah. John Miller says farfalla. It means butterfly, and it was one of my favorite kinds of pasta. The thing that looks like a butterfly or a bow tie. Ethan Elappa says consciousness. Interesting. To that, I will respond by saying pervasive. Consciousness, pervasive. Coffee Creamer says taco. For me, this has always been linked to these like early 2000s, late 90s internet memes. Like, I like tacos and stuff. Certainly, it's not a kind of junk food that I like, respectfully. Gizbilimci says tentacle. Hmm. I like organisms with tentacles. I like the concept of tentacles. But in the recent day and age, it's kind of become like a normie, IFL sciencified kind of slightly boring concept. I mean, the internet is full of these artists who Photoshop like a tentacle from an octopus meal into a woman's mouth and call it Lovecraftian and stuff. And so to tentacle, I will respond with one word, trite. Dajun Yar says electric. To that, I would say Gary Newman, one of my favorite musicians. One of his best known songs is called Our Friends Electric. You probably heard it too. Na na na na, are your friends electric? Slothman Prophecy says mosquitoes. I say fucking insomnia. The last couple of nights, they're really not letting me sleep. Awful. Eminol says friendship. I think it's one of the things that add meaning to life. As the great Turkish songwriter and philosopher Tarkan says, arkadaşlarım aramasa ne yapardım bu hayatta? Telefonlar çalmasa, şu şarkılar olmasa, arkadaşlarım aramasa. The song goes, if the phones didn't ring, if it hadn't been for these songs, and if my friends didn't call me, what would life be for? Huh? Oh, Cork is in Ireland, not York. My mistake, apparently. Lord Grunwalder says, hentai. Boy, get you gone. What are you doing, man? To hentai, I can say acquired taste is all I'll say. Coffee Creamer says, traditional tacos are very healthy. Yes. Okay, much respect onto that. If it's your native food, I'm not in a position to speak shit about it. Slothman Prophecy says they're swarming me right now, probably in reference to mosquitoes. Man, I got a nice urban remedy for that. Like, get some cologne and stuff and rub it all over your body. It keeps them away from half an hour. Dajun Yar says Jawas or Tusken Raiders from the Star Wars universe. I like both of them. In the Star Wars universe, in the sand desert planet of Tatooine, you have Sand Raiders or Tusken Raiders, who are like these like burly, mummy-like creatures who actually are a different species from humans. And Jawas are these little midget-like creatures with glowing eyes, and they're like scrap dealers. Maybe by a narrow margin for me, it would have to be Jawas because I just like the art of the Jawa sandcrawler and the whole scenes in the original very first Star Wars movie with the Jawas and all these weird robots in this weird car and nobody knows what's going on. It's just like some of the best segments of filmmaking ever. Let's check some messages. All right, just a second, everybody. All right. Gavin Tidwell asks, have you read Rendezvous with Rama? Oh, yes. I like that series very much. So, if you don't know Rendezvous with Rama, one day out of nowhere to the solar system comes a floating cylinder. It's a giant spaceship made by an unknown race. People call this thing Rama and explore it, and the first one kind of comes and then fucks off. Then the second one comes in and it actually takes colonists. And then turns out these ships are like giant vessels carrying multiple species. And they're like a Noah's Ark kind of thing. It's very nice. I like that series. I got all the Rama books and I've been wanting to reread them. So maybe I will give them a reread. Yes. Coffee Creamer says, I am making you the subject of my next English presentation. Thank you. Thank you so much. Means the world to me. I hope your class enjoys it and I hope you get a good mark for it. But Pirate says, do you have the cat around tonight? Thanks for streaming. I do have the cat, but it's just around the corner and sleeping. It wasn't doing too well until this week. My family and I had to take it to the vet and it got continuous IV drips and like lots of medical attention. Motherfucker costs more than a human being because unlike America, we have government medical insurance here, but animals don't. But cat is back in action. No, it's just sleeping. All right. Let it sleep. Okay. Mikin says, hey, hello, my friend. Our family dog isn't doing so hot either, says Bat Pirate. My condolences, or I hope it gets well soon. It is that season. Many friends lost pets and stuff these days, so. Did you check Scavenger's Reign? I haven't. I still haven't. Let me look it up. Oh, it looks really nice. It looks like Moebius crossed with Studio Ghibli. I will need to watch it in further detail. I'm certain the production team has at least heard of my work. That's all I'll say. Who is that painting in the background? It is staring into my soul. It's a birthday gift I made for my father when he turned 50. So, kind of old. The camera does this silly thing when I do. Thumbs up? What the fuck is this? God damn. Oh, this is so cheesy. God damn. Okay. All right, everybody. It seems that more of you are coming here to just watch my beautiful hair and strange voice rather than to ask questions. So let's get some questions here. Normally, people pay for this on Patreon. If you want to have me answer complex questions, you gotta pay on Patreon. But if you got any quick questions, now is the time to ask him. Cork is the true capital of Ireland, no matter what the Dubliners says. Okay. Yeah, people are racking their brains for questions. Ironic. What else can we talk about? Well, while you're looking for questions, let me test the amazing new calligraphy thing I have. So let's get the little bit of pasta. This is actually pasta packaging paper, which I really like. It's a great medium for drawing. Let's do it this way. Yeah. As you can see, it's just a stick, and I really recommend this to anybody. I'm using a very fancy kind of ink, but any ink works with this technique. So there, you just take your stick, you dip it in, you just kind of do this, and then your thing is ready. Now I can draw anything. I don't know what I should draw. You see, it's amazing. It's really like a look at the way it holds the ink and spreads it. It really is like a manga nib or like some sort of weird. Oh yeah, I really like this. You can make it thicker if you move along the side, or just use the thin parts to make it thinner. And that's that. Look at it. You can even make cross hatching with or shading with this technique, which is amazing. If you have too much ink on one corner, just grab it with your dip and then spread it to another part. There we go. That's it. Fucking stick, everybody. Just like, please try this method. I really wonder what kind of results you will get. Yeah, it looks like a gorgon or a dragon. One of the serpentine ladies I like to draw so much. Dodrinyar says, draw yourself. Well, maybe this is myself. Who knows? So let's wait for this to dry and answer some questions. And after it dries, we will together color it. So I'll actually show you a cheap way to like an easy way to color these things too. Okay, so this is going to the drying section. Let's cup this. A trick, by the way, you must always, after doing this thing, you must always wash your stick because otherwise the ink clogs up inside it and you don't want that. Okay. So, lots of questions. Okay. How do I improve my writing skills? Says Dajunyar. I answered this question numerous times, but try to apply to contests. There are many short story contests or like magazines and things with submissions open. Eventually you will win some or like get your writing accepted into some. And that whole mission questing of writing for a to meet a deadline or to meet a contest, that's going to be like good for your writing. So here's another advice. Opinions on Kurt Vonnegut, genius of our time. I actually have his biography. I still have to read it from cover to cover, but sounds like a very interesting character. Favorite color? Tangerine yellow, I think. Have you seen Bionicle Creatures from 2007? Unfortunately, not. How do you feel about diatoms? Says Gavin Tidwell. I love them. Their forms are unbelievable. They're up there with. There's also another group of microorganisms called radiolarians. And together, diatoms and radiolarians, I love their shapes. In fact, they're my great inspiration. Like, if you take the form of a diatom and scale it up into kilometers wide, you get great designs for spaceships. Max Ape says, are smart beetles possible? Why not? Yeah. If they evolve a kind of hive intelligence like ants or termites, you do have animals that make complex decisions without being complex themselves. So, yeah. Mikin says, Iguanodon is the most underappreciated dinosaur. Agree, disagree? I strongly agree. Because if you look at that thing's skeleton, it's a very heavily built, like a murderous gorilla, bird, buffalo, like thing is built like a kaiju. It has spikes in its forelimbs. Probably just goes like chat and like kills you. Very like muscular and strong and dangerous looking predator. Coffee Creamer says, will you let me force feed you 7 metric tons of hamburger helper and ravioli? I am only into the feeder king when I am the master. So, no, unfortunately, no. Television sound is coming. Yeah, I'm, I'm broadcasting from my parents. Nice t-shirt, says Mikin. Thank you. Can I make you a character in my picture book, says Coffee Creamer. Once again, I mean, you can. I will not stop you, but it's another question if I appreciate that or not. How do I design better aliens? Draw living animals first. Draw living, even not even real animals. Draw things like trees and like natural objects first, and you will realize how difficult it is to picture things that actually walk and move. And after that, you get a nice appreciation for muscles and stuff. Like even here, the way this thing's tail curves and the way it kind of gets thinner towards the end, it's all after looking at pictures of living reptiles and stuff. Can creatures the size of hummingbirds become sapient? Yes. Maybe they won't be able to communicate with you, but I think every creature, including hummingbirds themselves, are sapient. How do I overcome perfectionism and procrastination? Well, perfect is the enemy of good. Also, try to kind of establish a dopamine effect by showing your things to people. They could be people at your in your family, people at work, colleagues, or people you have a crush on, and you kind of feed off the responses you get from people. And that way you get to produce more artwork and you get more people to see them. It's a bit exhibitionistic, but then again, it's a it's a way to take something weird and put it into good use. And Coffee Creamer says, "Will you marry me?" I have to know you. Do you play or have you played video games? Not lately. I mean, I've given up on video games after 2010's Little Big Planet. Vagabond God says, abi selam, saçlar uzamış. Yaptık bir şeyler ya. Ya takılıyoruz işte. Yes, I like growing my hair. Maybe we shouldn't be so hung up about imperfections given how people are willing to overlook horrible mistakes in AI generated art. True. Also, I think a lot of what makes you a better artist is just having fun. I mean, like this thing, I just drew almost like a shit post. It's not my greatest painting, but it's just colorful, fun. You want to make something that is unique. You want to make something that gets people to smile and make maybe feel curious about. I mean, this is not the best painting, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. You once said that you don't show your progress to anyone until it's finished, but then you said you show things to people. How does that work with the dopamine effect? Well, yeah, never show unfinished stuff. That way, the dopamine effect actually forces you to finish that thing. So yeah. All right. Let's check some messages. Oh, radio is dead. Jink, jink, jink, jink. Hey kid, what you looking at? Take me back to yesterday. Everything was okay. All right. What animal do you think you'd have a fair chance of winning in a fist fight? I don't know. I think the biggest animal I could take on comfortably would be a cat. It's very difficult to kill things, especially with your bare hands. If you have a knife, that's another story, but yeah. And I'm not a huge fan of these like beating up animals meme jokes. It's a bit boring. If you ever get in a fist fight, I'll show you one move though. You don't punch like this because like if you're a thin-wristed individual like myself, when this hits, it kind of crumples and you're likely to damage this part and these metacarpal bones and these things. It just fucks you up. What you need to do if you're a skinny guy like me, if you're not very strong, and if someone comes at you, imagine this is someone coming at me. Okay, if this is someone coming at me, okay? I just have my arm ready and then just raise this. Just do the raise automatically. Hit with the back of your palm and drive their jaw up, their nose in, and then push them and run away. You can't win in a fight. I mean, it's gonna get messy wherever. But this I learned in a self-defense course, and it's fucking effective. Of course, the ideal situation is never to get into a fight. But if somebody like a bully is like kind of walking over you and like kind of threatening you, Don't look him in the eye. Just sorry, man. Sorry, man. Sorry, man. Sorry, man. Then with the other hand, just suddenly raise into their fucking chin, or fucking nose, or fucking. Then push them and run. Uh, who is this coffee creamer person? They're really enthusiastic about marrying me from California. And they want to make me a character in their picture books and they want to force feed me stuff. I don't know about this relationship, man. I'm on my knees. Okay, out of respect, I won't I won't exacerbate this conversation any further, but I'm very happy to have loyal fans like yourself. That's all I'll say. Here's a tip from Lord Grunwalder, who beat up two people in a single fight. Bro, I mean, like, I know you in real life. You're heavily built. You have got what they call a leader's physique. You're like strong, robust. You stand your ground. Yeah. Would a smart queen ant be possible? No, sorry. Would a smart ant-like beetle be possible? Like a queen beetle and a queen ant? Yes, almost certainly yes. Seeing that queen castes evolved twice in ants and also termites, termites are basically social wasps. No, termites are basically social cockroaches. Ants are basically social wasps. So, yeah, you would probably get a queen cased in beetles. Although beetles have such a weird reproductive cycle with the larva stage and everything that maybe things are like they could have some developmental quirks that we can't even imagine, you know? Lord Grunwalder asks, didn't ants evolve from beetles? No, ants are like wasps. They are like classified within Hymenoptera. Coffee Creamer, who wanted to be my crawling knee slave, being real right now, though, you're the reason I want to do art for a living and why I like drawing animals and aliens. Thank you. Thank you. 20 people in the room. Hello, everybody. How do you like these fucking. What is this even? This kind of crispy things with herbs in them. I love them. It is so sad we don't have any proto-parrot fossils, says Lord Grunwalder. Yes. I once I was fascinated when I learned that parrots were closer phylogenetically to hawks and stuff, which is just interesting. Steve Mopcannon, an artist I really like and respect, says, what do you think about All Tomorrow's fan art by Wanga Wagok? Man, everything by Wanga Wagok. If Wanga Wagok accidentally spills ink and it lands on a paper, I will like it and it will be one of my favorite artworks. That dude is so talented, it's insane. And forget All Tomorrows. He recently did this painting, cover art painting for Olaf Stapledon's Star Maker. Fucking unbelievable. Unbelievable. Godlike artist. I respect him so much. Oh my God, it's almost been an hour. Time flies when you're having fun. Just let me freshen up on my tea. I'll be right back. And then we could go back to coloring this thing now that it's sort of dry. Yeah. Why don't you, once again, look at this fucking thing? Or actually, I'll show you something else. Why don't you look at this? All right. While I go grab some more tea. Dedesine geldi, evine de geldi, evine de gitti, dedesine gitti. Gönlüm Allah'ım böllen be. Birler, beşler, yediler. Götünde uçsun kara kediler. Ay yavrum, yavrum. Evine de geldi, dedesine gitti, evine de gitti, dedesine gönlüm Oh, ay canım. Okay. Okay, just freshening up on the tea. All right. You watch the world explode every single Yes, we're back, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the cat action just there. Everybody liked the cat. Silly, the cat. Nice to see you here, Steve Mobcannon. Oh my God, the cat, silly little baby. Bot Pirate says, oh, what a nice kitty cat. Again, Meriden kitty cat clothes, where you climb up and down those poles. King HB says something in Irish, but I cannot understand what it means. Almost an hour in, everybody. I won't make a super long stream tonight, but let's have some more questions. Why don't you talk to me about something that's been bugging you in your lives recently? It doesn't have to be about art or spec evo. It could be about life itself. And I will, to my best ability, try to hear you out and share my mind with you. If this streaming thing takes off, I might do something called Cosman's Kitchen, where it's just me being slice of life, cooking food, eating food, cooking stuff, drinking stuff. Sometimes the cat comes in. Would be a fun show to host. All right. Share your woes. Now we're doing the whole agony aunt arc. Well, nobody has woes, I guess. All right. Lord Grunwelder says, nobody says, I'm glad you exist, Grun. Okay, so there's a lot to unpack here because I'm very certain you are saying this in reference to Eren Bülbül. Okay, so long story short, there was a young kid in Turkey's Black Sea region named Eren Bülbül, and unfortunately he was murdered by terrorists because they were like up in the mountains trying to smuggle some weapons and stuff, and he saw them and they killed him so that there would not be any witnesses to their movement. This guy's name was Eren Bülbül, and my respect to him and his family. And just before he died, he had tweeted something saying, um, basically saying, nobody says thank you, Eren, for existing. So now after he died, of course, it became a kind of uproar and everybody says thank you, Eren. So I think Lord Grunwalder was riffing off on that. I certainly am glad you exist. And I know your sister really loves you too, and everybody in your family. Well, most people don't voice their love and affection for you, so don't worry. Gavin Tidwell says, how do you find passion in art after losing it? By doing something else. Try writing or taking photographs or just doing life shit for I don't know. Just don't do anything for 6 months. Who cares? Now you'll find it. Oh man. Oh man. Lord Mikin. As long as there have been interactions between young men and young women, this question has been pertinent. Let's get personal, says Lord Mikin. A girl I liked for a few years has a partner. Off. God damn. It's bad, man. So bad. So fucked up now. Okay. I try to respect it and be friends with her, but it's hard sometimes. I really feel you, man. Mikin, I'm glad you exist too. I'm glad you were brave enough to articulate this question to Daddy Cosman here. I've been down that road so many times. It's painful. But if I could turn back the clock and see my younger self, I would say, get up, boy. Because, okay, there's this kind of in the deepest recess of your mind, especially if you're the kind of myth building, myth admiring type, creative type. Okay, you kind of build this thing. We will become the awaiters. We will just be there in the corner waiting for them to come back, and one day it will be all right for us, and like we can be together again. Ah, the whole like awaiter mythos. There's something very like there's something in it that hits to the core of a man's soul. The awaiter mythos, you want to be the awaiter, you want to be like dragon's teeth, you want to be like necrons waiting underground, or like ancient ruins littering the landscape that this lady still walks around in. Unfortunately, even if you want that girl, it's kind of better for you to like, okay, of course, stick around. I mean, you're friends, but don't be too in her face. Just, I mean, look, she didn't choose you. Let her live it out. Okay. Maybe she'll come back. Maybe she won't. All I'm saying is avoid the sort of awaiter. We are the awaiters. For the last 50 million years, we waited for maybe them to notice us again, living underground and jerking off. But no, you should not be the awaiter. You should be vicarious. You should move on to newer pastures. You must not be the awaiters. You must be the fuckers. By that I don't mean be a bad boy. Just go around, fuck it, live your life, seize it by the horns, and just say hello. I know it will hurt a lot. And as I've been saying in the stream, you know, sometimes life throws you shit. You have to like shed it like Brad Pitt's tank in that movie Fury. Maybe use that pain as a source of creativity. And I know, like, if you're a creative person like myself or many people in this stream, we are kind of prone to myth building, but move on. I had many instances, like, I'm nearly 40 years old. And, I guess in the first almost 30 years. Well, anyway, for most of my young adult life, I was merciless. Then I became more merciful as I learned that people too had hearts and I too had a heart and it could break sometimes. But many of these women I were like obsessed with. Yeah, I was like, I don't want to give too much personal details, but no, eh, I look back at myself and cringe. But years later, when everything blows over, they may come back to you as friends. You don't need to be the best friends, or probably won't be lovers again. You might be though. I mean that's been known to happen. But when that happens, if that happens, you'd be surprised because you don't feel anything about it anymore. So yeah, it will really hurt to see this woman you like with somebody or embracing affections for somebody else. So maybe I mean, in order to hurt less, kind of like decrease contact a bit, but don't say anything to her. It's her choice. Wow, that was a cathartic response. I hope you enjoyed it. Come on, people, come to me with questions like this. Lesson: don't be awaiters. That could have been a race in all tomorrows. The awaiters. For millions of years, they waited under tunnels, but nobody was coming. Or actually, they turned waiting into such a part of their lives that actually, when the awaited came back, they did not want to face them. Anyways, I hope I could like convey a sense of confidence to you. It is what it is. I'll tell you one more thing though. Like whether you're a guy or a girl, this is like universally true among people. Whether you're a girl or a guy, you like girls, you like guys, I don't give a fuck. Those people that you love, nothing will replace them. There will never be another person like them. Accept this from square one, okay? There will never be anybody like them. But there will be other people, and you will find yourself enjoying them more, wanting them more. And you will look back at your old past like the shed skin of a serpent. You would say, ah, this was what I was twisting myself over. How foolish of me. So, yeah. Kara Fiskroff says this really comes back to love today and sees all tomorrows. Well, I guess it does. Lord Grunwalder is saying, what did I do wrong? Harkening back to some of the drama that has surrounded him in certain circles. To my dear friend Lord Grunwalder, you're like a very lovable. You also have a. You also have the makings of a leader in you. I have seen how you are with other people in real life, and you like lead them around, you guide them. These are all incipient virtues. All I can say you as an older friend, in my humble opinion, is that sometimes it's also okay if you're just there. You don't need to say much. Just be there around people, listen to them, try to be the listening part and not the talking part. Can I have your permission to use the word all? Use everything, I don't care. Slothman Prophecy says, find it hard to get the same mental sensations out of life I used to as a kid. I try to get back, but some of the creative stuff, but I just feel apathy. To this, I will counter with another question. Did you have a big loss or like a big change in your life in the intervening years? I mean, I'm also always very romantic about my younger years, even my childhood. And when I go to places that I used to live in, my childhood city and stuff, I still get a kick out of maybe going to the same park I used to go to when I was 5 and stuff like that. But I think the trick is to relive those sensations, but share them with other people, maybe people you love or your friends. And then I think this childhood gets a new life of itself. Lizard says, this commenter, I had not encountered them. So one of the lurkers. My biggest woe is probably that I don't feel like a likable person, but I'm too lazy to change. I mean, I can't force you to change, but if you know there's a need to change, you will have to face the music someday. As they say in Turkish, ya seve seve, ya sike sike. Either with calm, quiet compassion or with something much harder, you will have to face the music and make changes in your life. So there. Mikin says, listening to music. Oh yes, listening to music I listened to as a younger person really brings back the feelings and the energy. Exactly. In fact, as you age, all of you, you will see that the a certain music you listened to 10 years ago, 20 years ago, whatever, when you hear that again after a long time, you will have the feeling of that time. It's a very strange and peculiar feeling. Feeling of that time. It's not an emotion, it's just you feel like that time, and it's just a wonderful, wonderful taste. One of the many things to savor about life, like this cup of tea. Dajun Yar says, what should I do to get my friend back to school? I want to text her, but I'm scared it will sound like flirting. Why? And we've only known each other for 3 months. Man, people have started flirting after knowing each other for 3 minutes, 3 seconds. I think you are scared of rejection. If your objective is really to get this girl back into school, and I don't know why they quit, then you can risk, hey, like you can talk hard truths, saying like, you may hate me, but you just have to do this or you'll regret it for the rest of your life. I mean, be a bit tough. Or if you want to flirt with her, I don't know. Just do something that will listen to her, maybe. Instead of trying to get her back to school, say, hey, how do you feel like now that you quit school? Let her talk. And maybe she will teach you something too. Okay, let's have some more questions while I think it's time to color in this sketch or this little painting. Cozemanite snake lady. Let's go. Quick. Okay. Oh. Yeah. So first with watercolors, you just lay in what is called wash, which is just water. After that, here's my pen, by the way. Here's my other stuff. Okay. Yeah. Let's do this shit. I hope you're enjoying this tutorial. The nice thing about watercolors is that you can just use them very little and then they will still mean a lot on the paper like this. So yeah. Also, I can do this little splattering effect with my brush. You see, I'm hitting it and very small splatters are flying. And you'll see them soon. All right. Bilmeyene tekrar hatırlatırız. Bam bam bam bam. İşte bu bayram. Na, na, na, na, na, na, na, na, na, na. You see, we have a leak situation here. The water activated the ink, and I'm just trying to avoid a spill by just soaking it up with my sleeve, basically. All right, now let's do this bit. After a point, it just becomes a game you play versus yourself, trying to add more color and life to the little creation you have made. And notice how subtle colors mean a lot with watercoloring. You don't need to go bright or brash. All right, so far so good. See? Wow. A lot of flirting advice going in the comments. I'm going to get back there just a second. Few minor corrections. I burped. In some cultures, it's a sign of pleasure. Now there's a way to dry this. You just take a standard issue cup of tea and you place your drawing over it like so. So the heat from the tea dries the watercolor. Okay, when this is dry, I'll show you a closer peek, but look how cool this looks now, huh? Wow. Wow. All right, let's see what you've been cooking down there, you gang of horny people. Oh, I used to kind of feel these feelings, but not really sure. It's been a while since I talked to her. Do you ever use markers of any kind, or are you a brush only person? I use pens. I have a few markers, but I don't use them too extensively. I have some markers that are like have this pale color, and sometimes I use them for like shading, but not extensively. Flirting doesn't need to be an end goal. It's just a fun way of interacting with people you find attractive, says Kyra Fiskrov. I don't know. I also, personally, I don't think I've ever like flirted with anybody in terms of a like, I mean, I never had a special flirting script. in those encounters. But you would know that, when you feel an electricity again with somebody and they feel electric back, it's nice to talk. Also, the sooner you give up an end goal, the more successful you get about this whole spiel. Oh, yeah. I found it weird to distinguish between flirting and non flirting, says Mikin. Yeah, this is the way to go. That is the way, exactly. I can never understand if a girl flirts with me or not, says Lord Grunwalder. Well, my friend, for the first 35 years, nobody understands. Cool, cool, awesome killers, cool snake. Kyra Fiskroff. Kyra Fiskroff is giving very solid advice here. Just learn to understand social cues. Very important. I wish somebody had told that to me when I was much younger, but very important. You have to I'll go one step further. I even say, whoever you're talking to, remember their social condition. Like, is this person, do they have something bad going on with their life at the moment? Do they have to work for a living? Are they tired? Are they hungry? Are they full? And try to empathize. Hooli B says, I plan to visit a friend in Istanbul next year, but he seems very depressed lately. It seems politics are really affecting his life. I don't know how to get him out of that. You could try adopting him and taking him back to your country of origin. I don't know. I mean, this is all in the background, and I have had explicit instructions never to make my channel about politics. But I think that, okay, if you're living in Turkey, you're 100 years ahead of the whole world. In 100 years, every developed country in the world is going to have a slew of stupid political problems, much like those that Turkey is facing today. Despite everything, I will still say that at least this is a working country, and you look at the world the around Eurasia, basically, it's full of failed states. Well, we are not one. I don't think we will ever be one. It is what it is. There is no escaping the pain and terror of economic downfall, and it's just I mean, it's on everybody's minds these days. But I don't think it's a directly relatable to politics. Like, if another politician had been in charge, things would be quite similar, maybe even worse, or maybe better. Who knows? Let's check some messages. All right. All right. More questions. What's some advice on designing alien plants? Like designing alien creatures, you have to draw. I think it's better if you draw real life plants first. Like, try to make illustrations of living trees or branch patterns and stuff. That really helps. And then you can see what makes a plant, and you can modify organs, move stuff around, and like it's like designing speculative animals, really. Nearly an hour and a half. Okay, I'm going to ask you. We spoke about flirting and stuff. Who are the women in the audience, and what do they feel like the dating scene in these days? What are your biggest complaints, biggest gripes? I mean, let's hear it from the other side, because I'd hate to be a guys only dating advice thing. If there are any ladies present among the 13 friends we have so far. Oh my God, look at, as the colors dry, they become so much brighter. Wow. Oh, there's a woman. Yeah, this is the only feminine manifesting entity on the stream. No, no, but I disagree. There are many, many women viewers of this show and this channel. I mean, if you want to have your say in this, well, oh, Matthias Gray says, "Hi, Kozeman. I would really like to be an artist similar to you, or at least close to that. Thank you. I mean, I am but a humble shit poster with. Okay. What would you recommend to do as a force of habit?" Okay, really nice question. I say, first of all, thanks for wanting to be like me. I say always carry a sketch pad with you. And the way I do is I have like a kind of clip-on folder. And inside it, I have like many sorts of different papers, some stuff for painting, some just for sketching. So always carry that on you and always draw, and see where your art evolves, see what you like doing the best and let it evolve. I mean, in the beginning of your career, you would inevitably end up emulating your favorite artists. And if I'm one of them, I'm just happy to be so. Daddy. Okay. But always do some real life sketching. Also, like, set aside time to, of course, use digital platforms, but like, exactly. And a good advice from Mikin is work with cheap art supplies at first so you don't fear making mistakes. Yeah, I really recommend that. So always carry drawing materials and cheap art supplies at first. And see what you like making the best, see what comes out, and try to like guide the process according to what you most enjoy drawing and what you are the best in drawing. Using pen and pencil, just do it. Yes. Also, another practice, I'll just give you such an invaluable lesson right now. Take a pen or whatever. Always sign and date your creations, even if there's something really simple. So here, see. Here I just wrote Kozeman 23. Yeah, it's just my little signature. Yeah, always sign and date your things, even if they're sketches, even if they're like one doodle. This way you create an archive of your work and always keep keep your stuff, like show value, like these things or these things. I always put them in like a special yearly binder or a box. Be organized in that respect. So, and also by keeping a track of your creations, you secretly and inwardly respect your own creations more. So you attach some value to them. And at the end, your aim should be to like not be not like me or any other artist, but it should be you should be an artist who doesn't need to sign their work, so that when people see it, they will know it's you. Of course, you will still sign them, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you will have a style so unique and distinctive that you will not need to sign your works because people will be able to tell immediately. So yeah, these were actually all my lessons from art classes from Cornell University. All right. I think it helps to get a class or a similar group of people with similar hobbies, says Slotman Prophecies. I'm not good at flirting in a bar. Oh, yes. I don't think many people really meet the love of their lives in a bar or club setting. Like, you could meet them beforehand and then take them to the bar just to have an easy night. But usually, you cannot conduct operations from a running start in a club or a bar, especially not in this day and age. Nobody goes to clubs anymore except old geezers. But maybe they'll make a comeback. Who knows? We're down to 9 people. Yeah, the dating advice put everybody to sleep, maybe. South Florida, says Slothman Prophecies, is all there is in is full of boomer bars. Man, do you know about this one place called The Villages in South Florida or Central? I don't know, some part of Florida, basically. It's this like hip, cool people's retirement community with like where everything is like perfectly managed and manicured. And apparently, it has one of the highest STD rates in all of the United States because all the horny boomers get it on with each other. And oh man, the panhandle, the gun grip, as I say. If America is like a weird grenade launcher, Florida is the handle, like, and you blow up the world. All right, nearly 1 hour and 45 minutes. 10 people. If anybody has been put off by the dating advice conversations, I'm really sorry. This had to be done at a certain level, at a certain point. It had to be done, but if anybody here doesn't like that sort of conversation, let me know. Does this mean that New England is the iron side? Exactly. Exactly. All right. Dajunyar says, I don't know. Finding someone in a bar feels pretty bad. Can work out, but most of the time they break up. Well, if you're a guy and a woman finds you in a bar, that may be a slightly transactional relationship. All I'm saying is like it has more chance of being like that. Great idea by idle speculation. If you're at school or work, try using a three subject notebook and use one section for sketching. Exactly. Yeah, for some reason, like people draw and sketch the best when they're in an out of context scenario. So if you're forced to listen to this goddamn class, your mind just wanders and you get really creative. Is calcium chloride dangerous? I don't know what calcium chloride is. Let me check. It can be created by neutralizing hydrochloric acid. Oh, apparently it's permitted as a food additive. Okay, so it can't be too bad. It burns too. What a weird stuff. Man, chemistry is strange. I wish I knew more about it. I'm thinking, I know it's your channel. I don't know. In another stream, we had somebody in here who was about to go to a Turkish restaurant. Uh, what happened to them? Did you end up going to the Turkish restaurant? Just really curious. Anyways. Mikin says, I had an idea that these teams could have a common theme or something. Many people who attend them draw, so we can maybe share our drawings afterwards. I create the best when I'm listening to people. Yeah. I mean, if you want to do that, that's fine. I don't know how to organize that though. But if I'm inspiring you to draw at the moment as I speak, I can only be happy. Is there a CM Kozeman Reddit? Yes, there is, apparently. Too bad I'm not a big user of Reddit or Discord. Only too much time for certain things, I guess. Bot Pirate is drawing right now. Oh well. 13 people listening. What time is it in your part of the world? Just curious, just asking. Let's do a time zone call out. It's 5:09 Bot Pirate. Whoa. It's 11. It's 2 p.m. 4 a.m. Max Ape says 11 in Sweden. Wow, Kare Fiskov 5:09 in the afternoon, I'm guessing. Nice. In the East Coast, yeah, PM. Yeah, it got dark at 3 in Sweden. Oh, don't I know? When I was studying in London in winters, like you wake up at like 10 and you have breakfast and shit, and at 3 p.m. it's like lights out, fucker. It was really depressing. I guess that's why people living in those parts of the world invented civilization out of seasonal affectation disorder, basically. Mm-mm. All right, nearly 2 hours, 14 people in. So we had a bit of a dip. We were down to 9 brave warriors, but now we got 14 people in the house. 2 p.m. in Seattle. It gets dark in 2 hours. Well, enjoy the rest of the sunshine that you got left. It's 5 and it looks like 10 p.m. Yeah, man, life in the States. You get a car, you drive around, lucky you. Max Ape says, I actually like longer nights. To each their own, I guess. I miss the rainy weather, and we just had some recently, and it felt great. Good evening, says Gabriel. Hello. Where are you from, my dear friend? The positive thing about winter is you don't feel guilty about staying inside and working, says Mikin. Exactly. In summer and spring, the sun is like you wake up and the sun, it's sunny out there, and it's like it's insulting. It's saying, come out there, motherfucker, come out and get it, motherfucker. And it just feels furious. It just feels frustrating to be at home. But when it's cold and rainy, oh, you don't need to go anywhere. It's a nice feeling. Gabriel is from Brazil. Thank you. My best regards to Brazil. Would you donate super chats if I enabled it? Just kind of feeling the ground over here. Would you donate super chats on the chat if I enabled it? Or are you already on Patreon? That's all I want to know. Hello, Kozuman says Poo Shaper. Nice name. What can I say? What do you shape the poo into? That would be interesting to know. Mikin is on Patreon. Thank you. You shape the poo into poo. Okay. Okay. What are you eating? I'm eating a local bakery's. So it's made out of flour, margarine, oil, salt, water, baking powder, and fesleğen. What the fuck was fesleğen? Basil, yeah. Basil flavored, buttery, well, margarine but buttery tasting, really good sticks. Okay, a few people are saying super chats are cool. Yeah, I'll try to enable them. It's gonna be one of my missions next week. Okay. All right, any more? Any more questions, responses? I'm gonna call it a night in 15 minutes, but I'm just eating like a ASMR orangutan creature. You know, like one of those weird videos where it's just one animal eating something and you just watch it for 5 minutes straight. I feel like one of those now. Hell yeah, those things look good. Okay, let's check some messages. Three, two, one, zero. Başladı kamptan sona kalan hero. Mikin asks, what is the benefit of super chats? Well, it's this option where in a stream, people could donate like for $1, they could have a special chat, and it's highlighted. Usually, though, it's used on streams where there are thousands of viewers as opposed to dozens. So it may not even work out. Favorite fan art of one of your creations? It has to be the recent Snayad drawing by this one amazing Korean comic artist, Mossa Kannibalis. And he did an amazing job at like not only rendering the creature, but also rendering the human colonist, which I used as a kind of scale diagram figure, and which I know many of you are simping for. So yeah. Could a species living in caves hollow out most of their planet? Okay, here's the problem. When you dig holes, that all of that debris goes somewhere. So you can't really, I mean, physically it doesn't work that way. Land habitats have lots of different terrain. There are inevitably mountains, fault lines. It's just not like Minecraft, you know? The world is a dynamic place. You dig a hole, you got to put that shit somewhere else. What you going to do? Throw it into the sea? How do you spell that artist's name? It's Mossa Cannibalis. Cannibalis. Yeah. Since you mentioned orangutans, what do you think about zoos having great apes? Well, it's a mixed bag. I mean, a lot of zoos really protect these animals. But it's awful if they're just like a chimp in a cage, you know? Max Ape says, weren't you going to wash the stick? My brother in Christ, yeah, it is being washed. It's in a glass. All right, nearly 2 hours. Any last wishes? Any last questions? Is Milady Cass still here? I really want to know how their Turkish food adventure went down. All right. Last 10 minutes for questions, everybody. Ooh, okay. Last wish, draw a frog, says Mikin. Okay, why not? I washed the stick, so I'm just going to use regular pens. Idle speculation also asks the strangest creature I found. I know there have been a few. Snakes, I think, are the most fascinating creatures to find. Like, whenever I'm out somewhere, I consider myself blessed if I see a snake. I did see a blue ring octopus while diving in Australia years and years ago. So that was also cool. So I'm just trying to draw a frog from memory. It kind of looks weird, like so. Probably has many, many anatomical inaccuracies, by the way. So it's going to be a mostly gestural frog, this thing. All right. Here's my frog, everybody. Well, it looks really weird because I'm also kind of tired. Somebody calls it a self-portrait. Well, maybe. Bro, could you draw the man of Tocuepala from Peru? I really need to look that up. Wait. Oh, do you mean the strange creatures from the Tocuepala cave? So I'm seeing some amazing cave art drawings there. I really need to research this in further detail, but it looks really cool. Draw a snake with 3 legs and ears and with feathers. Interesting. Well, if you want to do requests, I actually also take commissions, so you might want to indulge me that way. Yet the Big Mac Savage says the Tocuepala cave drawings in Peru are hunting drawings with mystical auras. Dajuniar says, draw yourself, not now. Plus, every drawing I make is a drawing of myself. Gabriel says, have you ever heard of Chupacu de Goianinha? Let me see. The Kupaku of Goianinha is a what the hell? Is a recurrent legend, a cousin of the Chupacabra. Reports are really funny. Well, maybe did it commit any crimes? Maybe. The picture I keep seeing is this pinkish weird creature. Very strange. And sometimes these creatures are associated with basically dead bodies of hairless sloths. So, yeah, I should have looked into this. Sounds very interesting. Well, if I collect enough criminal cryptids, I'll be back for a third episode. Oreosaurus is back. What did I miss? They say. Oh, you missed a lot. You missed a lot. Last 4 minutes, everybody. What social position would you have in 8000 BC Anatolia? Dead, probably. Or shaman or priest, I don't know. It must be very hard to relate. I mean, even the concept of the social position itself, of course, there were different people with different roles in life, but is it the same thing we mean by social position? And then again, in humans, societies have always been somewhat hierarchical, but those hierarchies have evolved so much. So I don't know. Caden Slinker says, "Can I ask about all tomorrows?" Not. I mean, you can ask, but I can't guarantee answers. Would you rather time travel to the future or the past? I think past. There are a few things I'd like to see. If enough Spec Evo books come out at the same time, what would you think of a bundle or a collection of them? Well, the more the merrier. Spec Evo books don't come out as often as they should, though. There's a group of people all working together to get their Spec Evo books published soon. Well, Godspeed. I hope everybody publishes them. And I mean, if I lived in the States, I would buy them all. Here, I have to pick and choose which books to buy on account of inflation. And basically, yeah. Would you consent to having your work? Well, if I'm financially remunerated, yeah. It's gonna end up like a big magazine all over again. And there's some nice speculative magazines too, like Astro Vitae or Almost Real. A couple of more, I believe. All right, we crossed the 2 hour mark. Anybody have any last things to say before we sign off? It's been a great night. I don't know whether talking about dating advice was a good idea or bad, but we talked about it anyways, and I hope I could like impart some of my experience and advice to you. And look, just people are people, okay? Everybody's got a lot of shit going on. Snayad book when? I'm working on it every day. You can't rush art. If you're subscribed to me on Patreon, you will see some excerpts. Dajun Yar says, we are at the edge of the universe. The live stream will end, but it's the end of the world. Nah, you'll be around next time. I hope so. Oh, okay, it's getting a bit tiring. It was awesome. Thanks to everyone for being here. Exactly. Thanks to everybody for their time. One last question. Do you have a desired time frame to finish Snayad, or is it, and if it happens, it happens? I work on it every day, and really, it's a lot of work. I mean, by the end of this decade, it will certainly be published. So will the All Tomorrows, but I can't really give a deadline at the moment. Yep, it's been 2 hours, everybody. It was great having you all here. Have a nice night, and I hope this was productive for you. Let's take a look at this drawing we did with just a little branch and some ink, and it turned out beautiful. So, so yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this experience too. As always, have a nice day, and if you're watching this video from a recording, please consider supporting me on Patreon or going to my merch store or going to buy me a coffee. Life is a weird adventure, and thanks for being there with me. Goodbye for now.